get a job easy. Where? I just applied to McDonalds. They said 5,000 people just applied today. Today! I'm never getting a job in 2025. Fuck, man.
People are crashing out in 2025 because of the expectations society is putting on everyone. And we have to come to terms with the reality that we're just not in the same world anymore. Things are so expensive. We can't live the lives of previous generations because of the cost of living, and it's really creating a lot of burnout and crashing out in today's society. And we're going to discuss it in today's video with a bunch of TikToks. And of course, we're going to react to those as well. With that being said, let's dive straight into it today.
I've been unemployed for a year and I'm so tired of it. I yearn for it to be a little capitalist cog in the machine again. I just want to go into my job and make my little coffee and make money and do something. I'm so sick of this. Please, someone give me a job.
Yeah, and a lot of the crash also has to do with the fact that finding a job is ridiculously hard to do. Not only the fact that you don't get paid enough at these jobs, but you can't even find the jobs that can't pay a living wage. That's how bad it is. And people are getting desperate to find a job, a horrible job, just to have some form of cash.
Get a job easy. Where? I just applied to McDonalds. They said 5,000 people just applied today. Today! I'm never getting a job in 2025. Fuck, man.
5,000 people applied just today at that McDonald's that he was talking about. What the heck is going on? People are desperate today.
People think, oh, these kids are so burned out, they're just lazy. It's like, no, they're working 40 hours a week, but at the end of the month, they have nothing to show for it. So if you're not making any progress and you look back 5 years and go, damn, I made $300,000 in the last 5 years, or I made $400,000 in the last 5 years, and I have nothing. If anything, I have $25,000 in debt. That's going to create burnout because you feel like you just put in 5 years of work and have nothing to show for it. And we still have people blaming them that, well, the reason you're broke is because of the coffee. It's like, no, it's the 25% inflation that we've faced that just destroyed people's spending power. It's the 30% increase in rent prices where people are spending 40% of their money on rent. You're still being taxed 20, 25, 30%. People just don't have any money. People aren't having kids. They're not being able to start families. People are struggling financially, fighting financially. Relationships are suffering. This is all decline in living standards. You realize millennials with degrees are living with roommates into their 30s, not having kids? How do you have a Thanksgiving in a 900 square foot apartment? How do you have a dog and go play in the backyard and make memories with your kids? I was living in an apartment complex just 2.5 years ago. Tons of kids. They may do, but they're all playing on the cement floors in the hallway because they don't have a yard, because houses are $400,000. Humans are good at adapting, but there's a fine line between adapting and being taken advantage of, and I think we're being taken advantage of.
And $400,000 is actually pretty good. If you're talking to a Canadian, obviously this gentleman is American, so $400,000 might seem like a lot for a house in the States, but in Canada, that's considered cheap.
I just got laid off from my job a couple weeks ago and my severance just hit. Let's talk about it. It all started when I got screwed on my company bonus. I was underpaid by about 20 to 25%, depending on who you ask, of what I should have been paid. And me being the little prick that I am, I had to ask around. So I asked my boss, and he assured me that everything was paid out correctly. Nothing was taken off. But what I don't think he expected was the CEO and CFO to come out in town hall meetings and say the bonus percentage that we hit. That really fucked his argument. So naturally, I asked him again, and this time he decided to cite performance reasons. Well, that's interesting. Why did you not mention that the first time I asked you? Why did you not say anything last year? So he did confirm that I was underpaid by about 25% of the target that we hit. But what I find really interesting is that they were going behind people's backs and manipulating numbers and their bonuses and what they paid them without actually telling them. And presumably, that wasn't just going to the bottom line. My portion likely went to somebody else. But anyway, a week later, I get a call thrown on my calendar with HR and my boss, the CMO, and I was laid off. But to be clear, it was not retaliation. It was not retaliation. But anyway, I think one of the big lessons here is corporate greed is very much alive and well, and no matter how valuable you may be to a company, they might still do shady shit and not tell you about it. And if you push the wrong buttons a little too much, you're going to get fired. But again, not for retaliation.
Yeah, if you push their buttons, they'll find a way to fire you. They'll find justification to fire you. Trust me, your job is not secure, especially if you're not in a union job. Now, some people might not like unions. Again, if you're not in a union though, and if you think about it from that perspective, you do not have any real job security. So you have to watch what you do, and that is also going to create a ton of crashing out and burning out in the job market in 2025.
This is going to be a bit of a vulnerable post for me. I've debated whether or not I should even make this video, but I had what I guess you could call a crash out this morning. There's a lot of reasons why that happened, but one of the main ones is that I just got really overwhelmed, and it started with me not being able to sleep in as much as I thought I was going to this morning. I just couldn't sleep because I wake up really early for work, and I've been working the last 5 days. I have a day off today, and then I go back to work for 2 days tomorrow, which for a 9 to 5 person, 5 days is normal. I work which obviously is still hard, but I work as a nurse, and my shifts at the hospital are 12 hours long. And my shifts that I work from my remote job are 8 hours. So my remote job is very easy compared to my hospital job, but it's just hard when I'm working so many days in a row. I start to feel hopeless, and like the work that I do doesn't make a difference, which is really difficult, especially if you're someone who went into nursing hoping that you could make a difference in the world. And I know that I make a difference in patients' lives, but in the grand scheme of things, working in the hospital is just very hard. And then I just feel like it's really hard for me to have a good life balance because I wake up at 5 in the morning, I go to the gym, I'm just rushing through my workout as fast as I can so I can get home, get ready, be at work by 8. I'm at the hospital from 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Sometimes later, depending on how long it takes me to give report to the next nurse. And then I don't get home till 9. I have, let's say, an hour to decompress before I have to go to sleep because I have to do it all over again the next day. So it just feels like, the best way to describe it is it feels like I'm falling off the face of the earth when I go to work. That's like how I explain it to myself. So that was like the main reason for my crash out this morning, was that. And then also just like wishing that I would have went into a job where I have more flexibility with my schedule. Yes, I do get more days off in a row with nursing because full-time for us is 3/12s, but I also work 2 jobs. So I've been working like 5 days a week between the two so that I can pay off loans, work on my retirement, doing all the things that we're supposed to do. I'm 29. I feel like there's a lot of pressure in your late 20s, especially early 30s too. Like that's the time when you're supposed to have everything together by now, and I still feel very lost in that regard.
Yeah, and if you're working 2 jobs, and it sounds like she's working about 60 to 70 hours a week, maybe even more than that, and if you have a job like a nurse, you are going to be asked to do a lot of intense things, right? It's very physically demanding, that job. Now, she does have a job where she works from home, and obviously that's going to be a little easier on her. But if you have 2 jobs, you're spending so much mental energy just trying to survive in today's society because the job market's so bad and people are crashing out harder than they've ever crashed out. Let me know your thoughts about this video down below in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.